There comes a moment in every life when time stands still, not on the clock, but in the soul. That moment is now. And whether you choose to acknowledge it or not, everything you do from this second forward will echo through the bones of your bloodline. Not just your name, but your children's name and their children's children. This moment is the fork in the road. One path leads to excuses, comfort, and generational stagnation. The other leads to action, sacrifice, and generational transformation. You are standing at the crossroad, and the decision is yours. But know this, what you decide doesn't just affect you. It affects every person who shares your last name. Every person who looks at you and calls you dad, mom, brother, sister, son, or daughter. The weight of responsibility is not a burden, it is a privilege. You were chosen for this mountain because your blood carries the strength to climb it. You were born into your family not by accident, but by design. The struggles you face are not punishment, they are preparation. You are being refined so that those who come after you can walk a smoother road. And let's be clear, your discipline today is their freedom tomorrow. The early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, the things nobody claps for, those are the seeds. And seeds don't scream when they grow, but they shift the entire landscape when they blossom. If you want your children to walk in freedom, then you must walk in fire. You must be the one who says, "It ends with me." The generational chains of lack, addiction, silence, fear, they stop here. Right now, your family may not see the vision. They may doubt your dream. They may even question your path, but that's because they're not meant to see it. You are. You are the visionary, and every architect knows that the ones who live in the house later were not the ones who drafted the blueprint. You are sketching a world they will one day call normal. And the price of that blueprint, your perseverance, your patience, your pain. Generational wealth does not begin with money, it begins with mindset. When you master your emotions, you teach your children to master theirs. When you overcome failure, you show them failure is not fatal. When you delay pleasure, you teach them to value purpose over pleasure. These invisible lessons are worth more than gold. They are the foundation of legacies. Because this is not just about you, it never was. Your growth is not isolated. Your wins do not belong only to you. They cascade into the lives of everyone around you. You are not just becoming stronger for your goals. You are becoming stronger for your family's future. This moment right now, where you feel the pressure, the doubt, the fear, is the doorway. It's not blocking you, it's inviting you. Your family is waiting on the other side of your decision. They are depending on this moment, not to be easy, but to be decisive, not to be convenient, but to be committed. So rise, not for the applause, but for the assignment. Stand, not for recognition, but for responsibility. Move, not for motivation, but for meaning, because the future of your family is being written by what you do right now. This moment is the fork in the road, not just a poetic line. It is the truth staring you in the face. Life doesn't warn you when the most important moment arrives. It doesn't flash lights or sound alarms. It simply presents you with a choice: evolve or remain. And right now, you are standing on a line that divides the past from the future. Not just yours, but your family's too. What you choose to do today becomes a legacy they will live with tomorrow. Every decision, every action, every hesitation or commitment you make now sets a trajectory that goes far beyond your individual life. Think of it. Generations from now, someone with your name could live a better life, walk through better doors, and hold their head a little higher because of what you chose to become in this moment. We often underestimate the power of right now. We say, someday I'll change, or one day I'll be better. But someday is a thief. It robs you of today's power and pushes your dreams into a foggy future that never fully arrives. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. This moment is your wake-up call. This isn't just another Tuesday or just another year passing by. This is the season where everything can shift, but only if you choose to show up with courage. You have to see it clearly. The choices you make now are building a blueprint your family will inherit. Do not let fear disguise itself as logic. Do not let comfort whisper to you that, later, is a better time to change. Later may never come. You have this moment. That's all any of us ever really have. But it's enough, because one powerful decision can rewrite history. Right now, you are either building a legacy of strength, resilience, and leadership, or you are feeding a cycle of excuses, silence, and small thinking that your family will one day have to break themselves. This is the fork in the road. Choose wisely. Choose boldly. Your family depends on it. The weight of responsibility is not a curse. It is confirmation that you are strong enough to carry what others could not. You were not handed this load by accident. Life does not make mistakes when it chooses its warriors. You may feel the pressure, the expectations, the overwhelming sense that everything rests on your shoulders. And you're right, it does. But that's not something to fear. That's something to rise into. The pressure you feel is not meant to break you. It's meant to shape you into the leader your family needs. When you look around and see that no one else is stepping up, that's the signal. It's your time. You were chosen to carry what others ran from. And in that, there is honor. Responsibility has been branded as something to avoid. Society tells you to do only what feels good, chase convenience, avoid stress. But there is no greatness without pressure. There is no legacy without responsibility. You don't build empires with comfort. You build them with commitment. You build them with the willingness to carry the load. Silently, sometimes painfully, but always purposefully. And here's the truth. Responsibility is the most powerful force for transformation. When you own the fact that your actions impact more than just yourself, something changes inside you. You start showing up different. You become disciplined not for applause, but for those who depend on your strength. You become focused not for ego, but for the future of your name. This moment, right now, is when you stop seeing responsibility as a burden and start seeing it as the highest form of privilege. You get to break the cycle. You get to build the foundation. You get to be the one your family talks about for generations, the one who didn't run, who didn't fold, who didn't blame, but who rose. That's not a burden. That's legacy in motion. And it begins when you embrace the weight, not with resentment, but with pride. Because what you carry today becomes the strength they stand on tomorrow. And when you finally realize that, everything changes. You stop asking, why me? And you start declaring, because it's me, it will be done. Your discipline today is their freedom tomorrow. This is not just a catchy phrase. It's a reality that will define generations after you. Every time you choose to wake up early, to train your mind, to focus on your purpose instead of your distractions, you are carving out a future your children won't have to fight as hard to reach. Every time you resist the temptation to give up or give in, you're removing obstacles from their path. The painful truth is that undisciplined moments create long-term consequences, not just for you, but for those who come after you. On the flip side, a disciplined life creates long-term opportunity. It builds doors where once there were only walls. Your consistency today becomes their possibility tomorrow. Discipline isn't glamorous. It isn't fun. It's not flashy. Most of it happens in silence, behind closed doors with no praise and no applause. But it's in those hidden moments where real power is born. The early morning grind, the silent prayers, the internal battles you fight when no one is watching. That's where your family's freedom is being forged. Discipline isn't about punishment. It's about purpose. It's about keeping your eyes on the legacy you're building. When you say no to temporary comfort, you say yes to permanent impact. And one day your children or your siblings or someone in your bloodline will walk into rooms with confidence, with options, with power, because of what you chose to master today. People often talk about building wealth, creating success, changing the world, but all of that begins with discipline. Without discipline, dreams die in excuses. Without discipline, potential never turns into results. And your family deserves better than a legacy of unfulfilled potential. They deserve a foundation built on action, focus, and follow through. When you become disciplined, you teach by example. You teach them what it looks like to keep going when it's hard, to finish what you start, to respect time, health, and purpose. They'll remember what you did, not just what you said. You are writing the instruction manual they will one day follow. So if you want them to live free, you must first live focused. If you want them to rise, you must refuse to fall to laziness, doubt, or fear. Because your discipline today is not just for you. It is a gift to your families tomorrow. They can't see the vision, but they will live in it. And that's okay. It's not their job to understand your hunger. It's not their role to validate your dream. The vision was planted in your heart, not theirs. That means you must walk the path, even if you walk it alone. You have to keep building, even when no one claps, even when they doubt you, even when your progress is invisible to them. Because one day, the same people who didn't see it will benefit from it. One day, your children will grow up with choices they didn't have to fight for. One day, your family will live in homes, environments, and opportunities that once seemed impossible. Not because they believed in it, but because you did. There's a sacred silence that comes with being a builder of legacies. You'll be misunderstood, overlooked, even criticized. People will wonder why you're so serious, why you're sacrificing so much, why you're not doing what everyone else is doing. But you're not building for now. You're building for later. You're building something bigger than comfort, something eternal. You're planting trees under whose shade you may never sit, but your family will. You're constructing a life that echoes beyond your years. The pain, the discipline, the loneliness, it's not the whole story. It's just the foundation. And one day that foundation will hold up a future filled with peace, abundance, and power for those who carry your name. You must understand this: the vision you carry is not for their approval. It's for their protection. Every time you choose to believe in the invisible, you are preparing to manifest the undeniable. They may not get it, they may question you, they may even distance themselves from you. But that's only because they can't see what you see. Keep building anyway. Keep moving forward anyway. Because when the dream becomes reality, and when the vision becomes visible, they won't remember the doubts. They'll remember the results. They'll live inside the world you built with your sacrifices, your effort, and your unwavering belief. Generational wealth begins with emotional wealth. Before you ever pass down money, property, or business success, you pass down habits, mindsets, and patterns. That's where real inheritance begins. A stable legacy is not built on the foundation of what you own. It's built on how you think, how you behave, and how you respond to life's challenges. Your children and your family are watching how you handle pressure, how you manage fear, how you deal with failure. They are not just learning from your victories. They are absorbing your reactions, your energy, and your resilience. If you don't master your emotions will master them. And that cycle will repeat itself until someone, maybe you, chooses to break it. The wealthiest people in the world often didn't start with money. They started with a different mindset. One that was calm under pressure. One that could handle rejection without collapsing. One that didn't panic in the face of obstacles but found solutions. That mindset is what creates sustainable success. Because a person with money but no emotional strength will lose it. A person with opportunity but no patience will sabotage it. But a person who has trained their mind and emotions is unstoppable, because no external storm can sink an internal anchor. And if you want to raise a family that thrives instead of survives, you must become that anchor. You must do the inner work that no one applauds, the emotional discipline that no one sees, the healing that changes everything silently. When you develop emotional wealth, you pass down peace instead of panic, confidence instead of confusion, vision instead of victimhood. You give your family tools, not trauma. You teach them that setbacks are setups, that emotions are signals, not stop signs, and that life is not about reacting, but responding. This is how empires begin, not with a financial deposit, but with a mindset shift. When your family sees you respond to chaos with calm, to pain with purpose, and to failure with focus, they will learn that power isn't just what you hold. It's what you control inside yourself. And that's the kind of wealth that lasts. So before you worry about building financial success, ask yourself, am I building emotional success? Because the strongest foundation you can give your family is not just a full bank account. It's a full mind, a healed heart, and a focused soul. That's how real wealth begins. That's the legacy that can't be lost. That's the fortune no recession can touch, no crisis can steal. It lives in how you think, how you love, how you lead, and most of all, how you show up when life gets hard. This is not just about you. It never was. You may be walking this journey, fighting these battles, and making these sacrifices alone, but the impact will echo far beyond your individual life. Every step you take toward growth, every habit you break, every goal you pursue with unwavering commitment is shaping the lives of people who haven't even been born yet. The decisions you make today, in silence and discipline, are setting in motion a chain of transformation that your entire bloodline will feel. You are the pivot point. You are the turning chapter in your family's story. And whether you realize it or not, your willingness to rise above mediocrity is the beginning of a new legacy. Most people live their lives only thinking about themselves, their problems, their needs, their comfort. But those who create change understand something deeper. They are a part of something bigger. You are not just an individual. You are a link in a generational chain. What you do matters. How you speak, how you lead, how you rise in moments of adversity. They become examples that ripple outward. Your resilience becomes a story they tell. Your courage becomes a lesson they remember. You are living not only for your own destiny, but for the destiny of your name. And that's not a burden. That's an opportunity. Because if you rise, they rise. If you grow, they grow. If you win, they inherit victory through your effort. This world teaches selfishness, but legacy demands selflessness. If you want your family to experience more freedom, more love, more peace, more opportunity, then you must become more. You must do the hard things. You must carry the pain now so they don't have to. You must be the one who says, no more, to the destructive patterns, the excuses, the generational wounds. You were not placed in your family by coincidence. You were born with the strength, the insight, and the divine responsibility to shift the trajectory of everyone who comes after you. You may not have chosen the weight, but you can choose how you carry it. You're not just chasing a dream. You're building a ladder that others in your family will climb because you refuse to break under pressure. You're not just healing your own heart. You're healing generations of pain through your commitment to growth. You're not just becoming better. You're becoming the reason someone else never gives up. So remember, even when the journey gets tough, even when you feel alone, even when no one seems to notice the effort, you're still changing lives. You're still writing history, because this was never just about you. It was always about those who depend on your strength to find their own. In the end, everything comes down to one powerful truth. This moment matters more than you realize, not just for your own life, but for the lives connected to yours, for the family that looks to you, for the generations that will rise or fall based on the choices you make today. You are not walking this path alone. Your steps echo into the future. Your strength becomes their safety. Your sacrifice becomes their blessing. And your discipline becomes their direction. You have the power right now, not someday, not later, not when it feels easier, but right now to shift the direction of your family's future. You are not doing this for applause or for praise, but for something far greater legacy. You are the bridge between what was and what can be. You are the one chosen to break the cycle, to raise the standard, and to ignite the transformation that will live on in others long after you're gone. So don't shrink from this moment. Don't dismiss your power. Don't wait for permission. This is your assignment. Your family depends on this moment, not because they are weak, but because you are strong enough to lead. Walk boldly, speak truth, stay committed, and never forget the legacy you build today becomes the world they live in tomorrow.